Ladies and gentlemen, the arrival of our guests of honor. So please welcome and put your hands together for the Right Honorable Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari Bintun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the National Anthem Negaraku and Sarawak State Anthem Ibu Pertiwiku. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please kindly be seated and thank you very much. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera, salam Sarawak maju makmur, salam segulai sejalai. Our guest of honor, the Right Honorable Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari Bintun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. The Honorable Tan Sri Dato' Amar Haji Muhammad Asfia bin Awang Nasar, Speaker of Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. The Honorable Ministers, the Honorable Dato' Amar Haji Muhammad Abu Bakar bin Marzuki, Sarawak State Secretary. Our distinguished Excellencies, the Honorable Dato' Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Haji Hipni, the Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Sarawak. The Honorable Deputy Ministers, Yang berbahagia, Datuk Technologist Dr. Nagulandran Kangayat Karasu, the Secretary General of the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, Malaysia. Yang berbahagia, Datuk Dr. M. Gandhi, the Director of the Borneo Business Connect, representing Yang berbahagia Chairman of Borneo Business Connect. Our distinguished guests, members of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly, heads of department, supporting partners, our speakers, moderators, and the participants, and also the delegates from across the globes and members of the media. Ladies and gentlemen, a grand welcome to the official launching ceremony of the Asia-Pacific Green Hydrogen 2026, the conference and the exhibition happening right here in the City of Unity, UNESCO Creative City of Gastronomy, Kuching, Sarawak. A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, so as to pray for blessings for today's grand ceremony, it is now with great pleasure to invite Al-Fadil Ustaz Haji Said Abdul Aziz bin Haji Wan Yusuf to recite the doa. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan falyatafaddal mashkura wa binallahi ma'jura. Dipersilakan.
آمين آمين يا رب العالمين. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. يا Allah, the most gracious and the most benevolent, we seek your grace and blessings in this official opening of the Asia-Pacific Green Hydrogen Conference and Exhibition 2026, officiated by the Right Honorable Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. All praises be to you, Ya Allah, for the success of all that we had planned, our aims and objectives in this conference and exhibition. Bless all the participants, delegates, speakers, exhibitors, and those who are here with us today with tranquility, wisdom, and openness in the best of discourse and collaboration. Allahumma Ya Rahman wa Ya Rahim, Ya Allah, who understands the finest mysteries, grant this auspicious occasion your divine guidance and wisdom. Bring forth fruitful findings, innovative ideas, and meaningful resolutions that will contribute towards sustainable development, clean energy advancement, and the betterment of our country, our region, and humanity. Allahumma Ya Allah, Ya Dhal Jalali wal Ikram. We pray to Thee that Sarawak be blessed with enduring peace, prosperity, stability, and progress. May our leaders be blessed with Your guidance, wisdom, and integrity in carrying out their responsibilities. Grant us protection from all forms of harm and adversity, and may mutual understanding, cooperation, and goodwill among nations prevail for universal peace and harmony. Allahumma Ya Allah, lead in our hearts with sincerity, patience, and determination in pursuing noble goals. Inspire us to serve humanity with excellence, compassion, and responsibility, and keep us under Your protection in all that we do. Protect us from wrongdoing and from being wrong. Let us remain mindful of the day on which we shall return unto You, when every soul shall be recompensed in full for what it has earned. And may we be among those who attain success and victory in this life and the hereafter. Allahumma bika nasta'in وعليك نتوكل وأنت رب العرش العظيم. ارحمنا يا ربنا فإنك أنت أرحم الراحمين. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Alhamdulillah, Jazakallahu khairan kathira. Thank you very much to Al-Fadil Ustaz Haji Said Abdul Aziz bin Haji Wad Yusuf from the Sarawak Islamic Department. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is indeed with great pleasure and privilege to welcome each and every one of you here to the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen Conference and Exhibition 2026, an amazing, significant platform bringing together the brightest minds, the boldest innovators, and also the key decision makers to shape the future of clean energy. And this year we gather under the timely and inspiring theme, empowering the future, delivering a resilient hydrogen ecosystem. As the world navigates the challenges of energy security, climate change, and economic transformation, ladies and gentlemen, hydrogen has emerged as a critical enabler of a sustainable, low-carbon future. And today, we are not just discussing the energy transition, we are driving it. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, to proceed today's program and to have more insights on the APGH 2026, it is now with great pleasure to invite on stage, please welcome Yang Berbahagia Datuk Dr. M. Gandhi, the Director of the Borneo Business Connect, to deliver his welcoming remarks. Dengan segala hormatnya, majlis mempersilakan, please.
The Right Honourable Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. The Honourable Tan Sri Dato' Amah Haji Muhammad Asfia bin Awang Nasa, Speaker of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly. Honourable Ministers, the Honourable Dato' Amah Haji Muhammad Abu Bakar bin Mazuki, Sarawak State Secretary. Excellencies, the Honourable Dato' Dr. Haji Hazlan bin Abang Haji Hipni, Deputy Minister for Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Sarawak, MISTI. Honourable Deputy Ministers, Yang Berbahagia Dato' Technologist Dr. K. Nagulendran, Yang Berbahagia distinguished guests, the Ambassador of Poland, members of the Sarawak State Legislative Assembly, heads of department, supporting partners, speakers, members of the media, ladies and gentlemen. Salam Sejahtera. On behalf of the Borneo Business Connect Sendirian Berhad, it is my great pleasure to warmly welcome all of you to the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen Conference and Exhibition, or APGH 2026, here in Kuching, Sarawak. APGH 2026 is proudly hosted by the Ministry of Energy and Environmental Sustainability, Sarawak, or MISTI, in collaboration with the Ministry of Science, Technology and Innovation, MOSTI, organized by Borneo Business Connect Sendirian Berhad, and supported by the Business Events Sarawak, or BE Sarawak, and Malaysia Convention and Exhibition Bureau, or known as MICEP. We are honored to bring together policymakers, industry leaders, investors, researchers, innovators, and energy stakeholders from across Asia-Pacific region and beyond, united by a shared goal to advance the development of a sustainable hydrogen economy. Today, the world faces the dual challenges of ensuring energy security while addressing climate change. In this context, green hydrogen has emerged as a key solution to support global decarbonization efforts and accelerate the transition towards a low-carbon future. Sarawak has demonstrated remarkable leadership in this space through strategic investments, international partnerships, and bold initiatives in renewable energy and hydrogen development. With its abundant renewable energy resources and forward-looking policies, Sarawak continues to strengthen its position as a regional hub for green hydrogen innovation and production. At this juncture, I would like to record my sincere appreciation to the Right Honourable Premier of Sarawak for his unwavering support. Even the name APGH was blessed by the Premier for this name when we started this event. Not only for APGH 2026, but more importantly, for his visionary leadership in advancing Sarawak's hydrogen ecosystem. Under his leadership, Sarawak has become a recognized pioneer in the hydrogen economy, and we are truly grateful for his continued support and confidence in initiatives such as APGH. The Right Honourable Premier, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, over the next 3 days, APGH 2026 will bring together global thought leaders and industry experts to explore key opportunities and challenges shaping the hydrogen economy. The program will feature high-level dialogues on the evolving global energy landscape, insights into innovative hydrogen technologies, and photo-hydrogen storage, as well as discussions on financing and clean energy integration. These sessions reflect the breadth of discussions throughout APGH 2026, covering hydrogen innovation, financing, infrastructure, policy, and international collaboration, and underline the importance of strong partnerships among governments, industries, academia, technology providers, and investors in accelerating global hydrogen transition. Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the hydrogen transition cannot be achieved by any single organization or nation alone. It requires strong collaborations among governments, industries, academia, technology providers, and investors. APGH 2026 serves as an important platform for knowledge exchange, partnership building, and meaningful dialogue that will help accelerate the growth of the hydrogen economy. Before I conclude, I would like to express my heartfelt appreciation to Misty, especially our YB, Dr. Haslan, who had been very active in contributing to the success of this event, Mosti, BE Sarawak, MICEP, sponsors, exhibitors, speakers, delegates, and the organizing committee for their invaluable support in making APGH 2026 a success. I wish all of you a productive and rewarding conference, and may the discussions and partnership forged here contribute towards a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable future in our region. With that, I warmly welcome you to the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen Conference and Exhibition 2026. Thank you very much. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih. Thank you very much to Yang Berbahagia, Dr. M. Gandhi, the Director of the Borneo Business Connect. And as been mentioned, ladies and gentlemen, since this morning and over the next few days, this conference serves as a dynamic hub for knowledge exchange, strategic partnerships, investment opportunities, and groundbreaking discussions on how we can accelerate the development of a robust, inclusive, and resilient hydrogen ecosystem across the Asia-Pacific region. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, and now we have come to today's prime highlight. As the global energy landscape continues to evolve, the need for bold leadership, innovative thinking, and strategic collaboration has never been more critical. In this special feature session, we will explore the future of green hydrogen, the acceleration of the energy transition, and the power of regional partnerships in building a sustainable and resilient energy future for the Asia-Pacific. In conjunction with the APGH 2026, we present to you the visionary dialogue entitled Empowering the Future, Delivering a Resilient Hydrogen Ecosystem. This exclusive conversation with Surrock's visionary leader, it will provide insights into Surrock's bold vision, its leadership in the green hydrogen economy, and its strategic role in advancing clean energy development across the region. And guiding this engaging discussion is none other than Mr. Nobuo Tanaka, the Executive Director Emeritus of the International Energy Agency, a highly respected global authority in energy policy, sustainability, and international cooperation. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for our moderator, Mr. Nobuo Tanaka. Please join us on stage. And now, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, please welcome to the stage the outstanding recipient of the Order of the Rising Sun Gold and Silver Star Award, Japan's highest honors. Please put your hands together for the Right Honorable Datuk Patigi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari Bintun Datuk Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. Majlis dengan segala hormatnya mempersilakan, please.
Yes, Mr. Premier, it is really great honor for me to be invited. We met together last year in Tokyo and discussed about energy crisis because it was July and just after the United States and Israel bombed Iranian nuclear site. And energy issue is getting very, very nervous. And I was very visionary. That's the reason why this session is called Visionary Dialogue. And I'm very open and ask very inconvenient questions many times. So, Mr. Premier, don't be nervous. I will be as provocative as possible with you. First, the Hormuz Strait is blocked. And this creates huge problem for the Asian oil importing, gas importing countries because Asian countries, including Japan, heavily depend on the oil and gas from that region. Malaysia, in a way, is also petrostate. I call petrostate who has oil and gas generator and controlling, in a way, the world by using it as a weapon. The US, Russia, and Saudi Arabia. On the other hand, there are countries who try to avoid this kind of dominance by electrifying the economy, like China or European Union. Japan is 100% importer of oil and gas. We are in very difficult position. To which side we have to work with? Electrostate China or petrostate United States? Malaysia is very rich position. You have oil and gas, and in the middle of ASEAN countries, very stable political situation. Do you think this Iranian crisis or Strait of Hormuz is a huge opportunity, even for Malaysia. And it's good thing. Very high oil and gas prices is good for Malaysia or the other way around because Asian economy suffer. So this is not good for Malaysia.
Thank you very much, Tanaka. Honorable Speaker, my colleagues, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for that question on the global issues we are facing at the moment. As you know, climate change has been a global issue. And we have to find out the cause of this climate change. Scientists say that is the result of carbon emission. And this issue was discussed initially in Kyoto, in your country. And then in 2015, nations acknowledge the issue of carbonization, and they say that the temperature will be rising. If it is 1.5 degrees above pre-industrial level, then the issue will be more complex. So the question is, what is the solution to that? And industrialization started with the use of coal and migrated to fossil fuel, as you mentioned, dominated by the petro-states. So the world is relying on petro-states because the engine of growth depends very much on this energy from fossil fuel. On the other hand, this energy also pollutes environment that affects the life of human. Humans have to survive. And because of this, it is the responsibility of nations to find a solution so that human can survive, while at the same time, development still goes on. That comes to the issue of alternative energy. And the scientists say the cleanest energy is hydrogen. And hydrogen, as you know, if we in Sarawak, you can get hydrogen from our H2O, you got hydrogen. And then your low carbon energy from gas, which is methane. And methane is CH4, you have hydrogen. So the next issue is how are you going to get the hydrogen from that module? And that's where I started to analyze the strength that Sarawak has. Sarawak has, a lot of rainfall. Sarawak has rivers, and Sarawak has water. Meaning Sarawak has H2O. That's how I began with my, my team. Why not we get hydrogen from our H2O? That's where we started to initiate hydrogen economy from our water system. And we try to identify the process, the electrolysis process, and we acknowledge that it's still expensive. And but then when you want to do that process, you need energy too. Then we have water, we have rivers. Why not we use running water to produce energy. That's where hydro comes in. So we have two components there. And we have to take the risk, but it's a calculated risk in terms of trying to find the cost of producing hydrogen. And that's where I have the prototype plant here, a very small plant. And we tried, to expand the use of our own production of that hydrogen for the use of vehicles. So I got the car from Japan, your Mirai, Toyota.
Hydrogen fuels helping.
Yes, and then I got also buses from China, and that becomes our experiment to measure the costs and also to test the fuel cell, the engine that use hydrogen to power your vehicle. That's where ultimately we are looking at hydrogen as an alternative for fossil fuel.
This is very important, Mr. Premier, because the diversification of the energy is the way for the energy security. So not depending too much on oil and gas, hydrogen is a very important for the alternative source. And Sarawak is in a very good position, just as you say. You have hydro, you have water, and you have biomass. You can do the CCS. So full of renewable or clean hydrogen you have. And I think you have to use this for the electrification, auto sector or data center. So I call it Malaysia or Sarawak is the hybrid petro-electro state. Using the resources, gas and oil revenues can be spent on the future renewables, future green hydrogen. And by the way, this is exactly what United Arab Emirates is trying in the Persian Gulf before the war, and selling their gas and oil and use the revenue for data centers, AI, nuclear power, or solar power. But because of this war, their hybrid strategy is somewhat blocked. But Malaysia is not in the Persian Gulf. You are in a very strong position and good political stability in the middle of growing Asia. I think the future of hybrid petro-electro state Malaysia is really warranted. Then, what is your strategy of this green hydrogen? You mentioned quite well. And how do you think that, because IEA recently said, has hydrogen, green hydrogen boom or green hydrogen bubble is burst? You don't agree with this statement?
You know, what happened is this. First thing is you have to find a solution to the global issues now. Number two, you cannot be relying only on fossil fuel. Number three, you can only develop when you have the energy. That's why industrialization, from beginning is using coal. That time coal was the source of energy. Then it migrated to fossil fuel. The technology changed, and the whole consumers' behavior also changed because of that. Now, you talk about Saudi Arabia or Middle East. Saudi Arabia has invested in NEOM, a new city based on solar. And it is a huge investment. And of course, the countries in the Middle East now is using that extra revenue for them to do research, to find alternative energy. Unfortunately, Middle East, they rely on solar. They got a lot of sunlight, but they lack water.
That's right.
And that's why when you come to our area, we are in the equator and we are blessed, not only with sunlight, but we are also blessed with water. In other words, both are there, and it is strengthened again by our gas reserve. And our gas reserve, as you know, is a low carbon energy producer. So gas is important too. So we have three here, not to mention our biomass. That's number one. So the next question is, how are you going to reduce the production of carbon? Who is going to absorb the carbon? Carbon is there in the air. Somebody has to take away the carbon. And we are fortunate. We have trees through the process of photosynthesis, right? So carbon is being absorbed. And we are not also emitting carbon. So you neutralize the whole lot. And that is what they call in Paris net zero. But Sarawak is negative. Not really net, we are negative. You see? Our forest cover is 62% forest cover, and these trees are absorbing carbon. Number one. Our soil, mangrove. Mangrove absorb carbon 4 times that of trees. So we have to preserve what we call our own resources that absorb carbon, while at the same time we try to reduce emission of carbon. In this case, you need this green energy. Green carbon, green hydrogen is, as you know, from water, from the what we call green base. And blue carbon is from carbon methane. So you just get rid of carbon, then the H4 is there. And these are the energies that you need to propel our economy. Once we have that, renewable energy plus, hydrogen energy, then we have surplus, we share with our neighbors. That is why we are sharing our electricity with our neighbor in Kalimantan, Indonesia. We are now, sharing with our sister state of Sabah. Next will be Brunei. And then we are now negotiating to supply our renewable energy to Singapore. We tell Singapore, okay, we can share with you 1 gigawatt. And
You should share with Japan also sometime.
Yes, we share with you through our LNG. That's why Tokyo Electric, I think your power comes from Bintulu, Sarawak. We share with Japan, right? And that is a low carbon. In other words, what I'm saying here is the leaders in Sarawak are not self-centric.
Right.
We are sharing with our neighbors.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
This is a great statement of Mr. Premier.
Yeah.
And I think energy security cannot be achieved only one country. We need a kind of collective energy security, I call. And IEA, International Energy Agency, was created in the first oil shock. And consuming oil countries got together by Henry Kissinger and created the stockpile of oil. That is the first step of energy security, because that time, oil is the most important energy source. So how to make a storage of oil is the way to respond to the disruption. Now, in the age of electrification, how to store the electricity or clean electricity is the key. And I think the solution is hydrogen. Yeah. So hydrogen is a kind of storage method. and liquefied hydrogen or MCH, methyl cyclohexane, or ammonia. These are the future of the strategic stockpile for the electrostate. And I think Sarawak is really the contributor to that direction.
But yes, but I think you must have that conviction. You must convince yourself that that is the solution. And then you pursue what you believe in it. You know, when I started talking of hydrogen, people asking me, how you produce hydrogen and the cost is high.
Yeah, that's right.
But the closure of Hormuz tell us a story.
Yeah.
When they close Hormuz, the petrol dollar cannot pass through the strait. So what happened is there is less supply of oil or gas, less supply will raise price. And
Maybe $200.
That's right. When the price is above 100 USD per barrel, up to 120, you refine your crude, you produce your diesel is also high. I have calculated, based on the present price of diesel, after the war, this war, compared with 1 kg of hydrogen, it is competitive.
We must thank President Trump for that.
Yes. You know, when you compare kg to kg, because the hydrogen is in kilogram and diesel is, in liters, but you compare 3.3 liters against 1 kg, because that one is more or less the weight. Then hydrogen is now competitive with diesel. You know what I did? I was very lucky. 6 years ago, our rural areas in Sarawak depends on diesel generator.
Yeah, okay.
But 6 years ago, I changed to solar.
Wow, very clever, very
Yes,
clever.
6 years ago. So when we got this problem with diesel, our friend in the remote area, in the long houses, they are not worried because they are using diesel, but we are using solar.
How could you be convinced that age of solar electrification or hydrogen are coming?
Well, you have to read a lot and you have to find opportunities, You have to read. And then you have to find alternative to that. And that when you see that we are rich in our sunlight, why not? Because solar panels seem to be less expensive now because of innovation in solar cell. That is why I told my friend the other day, if that depends, if there is a reduction in that cell, surely there will be a reduction when you produce your semiconductor.
Semiconductor or data center or
Yes.
artificial intelligence.
Yes, there is a possibility of new cell with the new wafer platform that can store data not through silicon but gallium nitride, where you have volumes, millions of data in that one semiconductor cell. Then the future is yours.
Mr. Premier, you are the real leader of hybrid electro-petrol state yourself, and you made a great success here in Sarawak. Next step for successful green hydrogen, maybe blue hydrogen is also a possibility, but how can you make the volume to reduce the cost? And is it a collaboration with users or standards or working with the neighboring countries? What is your strategy for making the scale of hydrogen?
It is a collaboration, people in that field. I mean, you need expert on that. And now the world seems to acknowledge the importance of hydrogen. And the world is also looking into the cost of producing hydrogen. And the world is also searching how to reduce the costs. So you got a lot of labs throughout the world. In Japan, in China, Sumitomo is one of it. Then you have in China, you have Europe, and even in the United States. They are doing research on that. So it seems that it's quite positive that there will be reduction in costs of producing hydrogen. And if they just need, say, 1 kilowatt hour to produce 1 kg of hydrogen, you only pay for that tariff of 1 kg. But for Sarawak, we are fortunate because we are the state that charge the lowest tariff in this region because of our renewable energy. In other words, once it is there, I do not know when it will come. I have a feeling that the cost will be very, very low in the future on hydrogen.
Very good. It is assuring the future of the hydrogen. And also, you mentioned about you purchased Toyota Mirai as the introduction for the fuel cell vehicle. Now, because of electrification, the Chinese electric vehicles are very cheap and very competitive. So many Asian countries start using electric vehicles rather than in the internal combustion engine, the gasoline cars. Japan, after the first oil shock, we made a very fuel-efficient cars, hybrid cars, and made a great success in the American market, European market, and creating lots of trade issues with that. What do you think about this Chinese competitiveness on the electric vehicles or green technologies like solar panels, windmills, batteries? Is Malaysia's strategy of how to cope with the major leader of electro-state China in the future? What are you planning to work with China? Of course, Japan should work with China as an electro-state, to be an electro-state. But Chinese presence is getting very, very big now of this electrification world, and China is definitely the winner. Are we going to live with this current situation as such, or can we ask China to join the international collaboration more to benefit ASEAN countries or Japan or working with Europe? What do you think about how we work with most important electro-state China?
Well, it depends very much. When you rely on electricity, because EV depends on electricity, electron, basically electron.
Okay.
Okay. So, how do you produce that electron? Mm-hmm. And then the question is whether it is sustainable or not. Mm-hmm. If you were to use battery, how are you going to dispose your battery? So there are so many issues in terms of electrification. But as far as hydrogen is concerned, it is different from the mechanics of electricity. Mm-hmm. And for China, there is a possibility that they are very strong in solar. Mm-hmm. In solar.
Yeah.
So in other words, they say, why not?
Okay.
We use electricity mm-hmm. to power our vehicle. Mm-hmm. That's The reason why they produce EV vehicle. But it depends on the strength of each area. But for us, I think our strength is still in this renewable energy, and I think hydrogen is another source of energy for us to move our economy. Well, at the same time, we have our electricity, and if we have surplus, why not we export our electricity?
True.
This is what we are going to do now. We are part of the great, what do you call this, ASEAN grid.
Yes.
It's depends on your strength and what your policy like. You know, in any economy, opportunity, you must know how to value opportunity. And you strike when an opportunity is there.
I am promoting the idea of connecting power grid lines with Japan, with Korea, or with China.
Yeah.
And by sharing the renewable energies or nuclear powers, etc. That is the kind of collective sustainability or collective security that Europe has developed. So ASEAN Power Grid is probably one of the most interesting, important elements for the ASEAN countries' decarbonization or electrification or energy security. And I cannot agree more with you, Mr.
You know, what happened was Malaysia was the chairman of ASEAN last year. And my prime minister asked me to give a talk in Kuala Lumpur to the ASEAN member countries on the future of energy. So I share with the participant, with the audience, that what ASEAN need now is ASEAN must have a common platform to implement ASEAN grid. Apparently, there is no framework at the moment. Then I shared my view that you don't have to reinvent, but we study what happened in European Union.
Okay.
European Union, there is already a sort of framework for them to share their energy, even to the extent that the Scandinavian countries, they send the power through undersea cable, interconnection. So much so, now in Europe, they have their own stock, spot price, in determining the price of energy. So for ASEAN, we just look at European Union and then use that as a model.
Yeah.
So what happened now is ASEAN countries has no common platform. This is my view.
Okay.
Well, what happened? I said Sarawak started it by bilateral collaboration.
Yeah.
With Indonesia, we said, okay, Indonesia and Sarawak, Malaysia, we sell to you and this is the price. And then there is a collaboration between Indonesia and our side. The same goes with Singapore.
Yep.
The same goes with Brunei. In other words, we have this grid being done bilaterally,
Yeah, okay.
not on ASEAN. So we have to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And I hope the 11 member countries of ASEAN have a common platform to energize themselves with a common grid. And we will share that. Then that's why what happened now is, for Sarawak, we focus on our strength in energy, and we share that energy in order to propel our economic growth.
So it's a kind of green hub of power grid in ASEAN countries. That is what you are aiming at in Sarawak, Mr.
Yes,
Premier.
that's why I told Sarawakian,
Yeah, very interesting.
my countrymen,
Yeah.
don't just confine to Sarawak. We go beyond Sarawak, beyond Malaysia in ASEAN.
Very good. Fantastic idea. That is really important. That Sarawak has such a good resources and create the hub and connecting with other countries. That's the first step of collective security. By the way, for Japan to have some more collaboration with the United States, even though it is petro-state under Trump, Mr. Trump, but we have to work with US. One of the collaboration which I'm promoting a lot is developing the small modular nuclear reactor with them. Mr. Trump is very much in favor of nuclear. Korea, Japan needs to have a nuclear capacity because we don't have the renewables like Sarawak. So nuclear is very important. So collaboration for small reactor. Now the small modular reactor can be used for the dedicated power for the data center and not connecting the grid, but dedicated in-house power for SMR. As a future hybrid petro-electro state, Malaysia or Sarawak, aren't you interested in spending some of the finance or money or revenues from the oil and gas into this new technology, small modular reactors? United Arab Emirates is trying to do that, by the way. And also they have built the big reactor, but the future of the nuclear is a small one, if any future.
Yeah, small reactor, modular reactor is there to, to not replace, but to be an additional to nuclear energy. But generally, it depends on the perception of people.
Okay.
Some section say, okay, it's not safe. The question of safety. So we have to find an alternative to nuclear where people are guaranteed of that safety issue.
Okay.
In the world today, there is a small reactor, modular reactor, yes. At the same time, research is now being done for fusion energy. And then fusion energy, as you know, the gas reaction.
Right.
And there is a sort of atom in hydrogen called deuterium. And this deuterium will react with tritium, then produce energy.
Yeah, correct.
And if that happens, it is a very early stage in terms of research on this fusion energy.
Yeah.
But over time, this fusion energy could be alternative to
True.
nuclear.
That's true.
So for those countries
Okay.
that haven't got the resource to produce renewable energy, they may shift to this new energy, fusion energy.
Yes, this is very visionary thinking, but definitely, Mr. Premier, the fusion technology is very much of the importance.
Yes.
If there are many commercial fusion or venture
Yes.
firms now in the United States, many different technologies, by the way. But I don't know which one is really succeeding. But if one company succeeds generating electricity by fusion, it is a revolution.
Yeah, I think it will be there through innovation because, now research can be accelerated to the assistance of AI.
Yes.
You see?
Yes.
AI is there to help
Right.
you.
Exactly. AI can be utilized.
That's right. That will reduce the time taken for you to do the research. The only thing is just to combine all the components and you produce sort of the energy from, the reaction of gas. And I think that will be the future. And for us, we can react to produce hydrogen and you try to get that atom from our own hydrogen.
Yeah,
And then Sarawak can also produce fusion energy from that.
that's true. Yes, and AI needs lots of water to cool down. So the AI data centers could be a very good location over
But
here.
I think
You are
that-
attracting investment to the data centers here?
No, I think data center is a new now, the new technology on data center now. They want to decentralize data center.
Right.
What they want to do now is there's a development of what we call AI grid through supercomputer. And this data will flow based on the real time. I mean, it's the speed of light, 300,000 kilometers per second. And that will be the speed of data.
That's true.
And you don't need data center. What you need is a very strong supercomputer, your server.
That's right.
Then it becomes a grid, just like a power grid.
Yeah. Connected by the light, fiber, just glass fiber.
Yes,
right?
yes. I think that will happen in 5 years' time. And if that happens, then it's no longer data center because the data.
Yes, moving itself.
You know now, there's another technology being done now. The separation of light. They separate the light in between the wafer, and that light will bring electron in space.
Yeah, I see.
And then your satellite,
Yes.
the energy will be from there.
Yes, that's right. X is seeking the possibility of space data center. Yes, that's true. By the way, Mr. Premier, international collaboration is always very important. We talk about ASEAN power grid. Japan is promoting the concept of AZEC, Asian Zero Emission Community. Well, how successful do you think it is? I mean, as a Japanese government is always saying, this is a great work of our government and associating with ASEAN countries together to make a supply chain of green hydrogen or CCS, etc. From Malaysia, this AZEC concept of Japanese initiative is good for you?
Yeah, there is a collaboration actually between us and Japan. Even your former prime minister visited Malaysia, and I was called by my prime minister to be together. And there is a collaboration between Japan, particularly Sarawak, on this new technology. I think that is part of the collaboration between us, and perhaps we extend to other countries for this collaboration.
Sorry that we discuss about Japan and Malaysia here, but I'm very much, satisfied or honored that you very positively respond to me about the collaboration with Japan. It is very much necessary for two countries in the future as a leader of the electoral state or hybrid petro-electoral state. And for that, I am proposing the idea of using the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement. It is called Comprehensive Progress, CPTPP. Already, Malaysia is a founding member of TPP. Japan also promoting CPTPP when the Prime Minister Abe was there. And Takaichi-san, our new Prime Minister, certainly she is very much favor of this concept. And United Kingdom is already member. So in the future, I mean, China, Taiwan are asking the membership. Indonesia is asking membership. Korea is asking membership. United Arab Emirates is asking membership. So using the CPTPP as a kind of framework of further collaboration on the hydrogen or clean technologies, maybe engaging European unions as such, or maybe India as such. Do you think this kind of concept works for the alliance of electoral state for the future?
I think in principle, yes. In principle, if you have, especially the electoral states, they collaborate, exchange of ideas, and also establish the trading protocol among the member countries that will benefit everybody. But at this stage, I cannot comment more because it's a decision of my Prime Minister. I'm now only Premier of Sarawak, not Malaysia.
But Sarawak is very important part of Malaysia and the hub of green hydrogen, right?
Yeah. But definitely, my Prime Minister, I think.
He's in Japan now, I understand.
Yes, now he's in Japan now. I think he'll be in favor of this because it benefits everybody, that will enhance global cooperation between our side, Asia, with Europe, and with our neighbors.
In the morning session, I made a keynote speech, and in the end, I have said that Mr. Trump is, breaking the Pax Americana. I think electoral state or hybrid petro-electoral state should build that new framework, replacing Pax Americana, and I call it Pax Electrica. Do you agree with me?
Difficult for me to comment on that one. But one thing is certain, we do respect to President Trump. I was in Dubai, and during when he won his second term,
I see.
and I was a panel in the global discussion, also on energy. The moderator was from United Kingdom, and he was asking me, what do you think of Trump? Because yesterday Trump won the election.
Okay.
Then I said, I have no comment on that. I know he was not really in favor of acknowledging the climate change, because that's why he wanted US to be out of that Paris Agreement. At that time, as you know, Elon Musk was with him. I said maybe he changed, maybe influenced by Elon Musk on the question of climate issue. So that was my comment. But now is his second or third year.
Yep.
There's certain action that he did, not complying with the consensus in the United Nations. So that's why I do not know what is the future like.
Yeah.
I'm not very sure on this.
We'll see. I mean, he's changing every day, so it's very difficult to predict what he will say tomorrow. But Mr. Premier, I think we are not now almost terminating the whole time, but the Hormuz Strait or Gulf or the Middle East problem is very politically serious. And this Arab Muslim countries or Iran are not making very good terms. So, and they are very radical in a way and aggressive. I understand that East Asia, like Malaysia, Indonesia, the Muslim people here are very moderate. Can you help to make peace in the Middle East somehow? This is a totally different subject from the green hydrogen, but I'm curious, and I cannot stop asking this question to you, Mr. Premier.
Well, it depends on your perspective. The world now is very complex. There is a book called Mixed Mind. In that book, because of technology, human minds seem to be in confusion. There is the issue, the model of neuron in our brain. And this is the natural neuron. But you have an artificial neuron in the field of AI. Okay. And AI is very much depending on the language of AI. Today, it depends on what they call lambda, language modeling, dialogue application. Now, AI with that language, the next step, they say that it will also create emotion in AI. So I begin to imagine a robot just like a human having emotion.
Okay.
And I saw one photograph of a robot in China doing kung fu. You just imagine if he has emotion, he get angry, then he will kung fu you. You know, so that means the whole society has changed because of that technology. So to answer your question, for us who are categorized as moderate, we want the world to be in peace. That is the ultimate aim.
Yes. The Buddhist loves peace more than Muslim, I'm afraid, but we have to work together
Yes.
to make peace. That is what I'm sure about.
That is the reason why I talk about neuro just now, because you have to see what is the future like. If we have experience in First World War, for Asia, Second World War, what benefit you get? But human has to survive. We are talking about energy because you need energy for your agriculture. You need agriculture for your food. Human depends on food. So if you are in anarchy, chaotic situation, I mean, you cannot improve. So to me, the basic is you must have that humanitarian element in you. So we share that.
I cannot agree more. The time is up, so I still have many provocative questions, but we have to stop here. Thank you very much,
Thank you.
Premier.
Thank you
Mr.
very much.
Premier. This is a great opportunity and honor for me.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, the Right Honorable Premier of Surak and Mr. Nobuo Tanaka. Another big round of applause, please. Our distinguished gentlemen, our guests of honor, please remain on stage for our next agenda. I'd also like to invite now our distinguished guests at the front row to please join and accompany our guests of honor on stage for the symbolic launching of the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen 2026. Gentlemen, please join us on stage together with the Right Honorable Premier of Sarawak. Well, it's definitely time for this symbolic launching of the APGH, the conference and exhibition for the year 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, this launch marks a significant milestone in advancing regional cooperation, innovation, and investment towards a resilient and sustainable hydrogen ecosystem. So whenever we're ready, the Right Honorable Premier of Sarawak will do the honor by inserting the official logo of APGH 2026 onto the launching podium. So whenever we're ready, let's do the countdown in 3, 2, 1.
The Malaysian state of Sarawak aims to be a major exporter in green energy.
Sarawak is on the right track in developing its own hydrogen industry.
APGH 2026 signals a major pivot in moving from theoretical potential to concrete project delivery.
A big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it. The Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen Conference and Exhibition 2026 is now officially launched. Well, here's to the future of clean energy, and together we are empowering the future and delivering a resilient hydrogen ecosystem. Terima kasih. We now invite our guest of honor back to the center stage to be accompanied by all the distinguished guests for us to proceed with the memento presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, as a token of appreciation to our guest of honor, we now invite Bahagia Director of Borneo Business Connect to present this two inspiring publication to the Right Honorable Premier of Sarawak. The Age of Sustainable Development and also ESG Mindset, Business Resilience and Sustainable Growth. Alhamdulillah. Terima kasih. Thank you very much, and we now invite our guest of honor to please kindly return to the main seat to be accompanied by all the distinguished guests. Dipersilakan. What we have next is a group photo with everyone on the floor attending today's ceremony. All right, and also like to invite, of course, our official photographers and also our media friends to please join us on stage to capture this momentous occasion right here at the APGH 2026 as we celebrate our collective efforts and the future we are building together. All right, ladies and gentlemen, those behind, please, can we have everyone to please stand? All right, squeeze in at the center. Yes, at the mid aisle, please, everyone. All right, a couple rounds of photo wouldn't hurt. Smile for the cameras. Yes, we have more than one camera on the stage right now. Okay, so smile from ear to ear. Perhaps thumbs up to APGH 2026. Okay, and also some mini love to show how much you love Kuching City. Ranked the world's 11th cleanest city. Yes, Kuching City it is. Okay, so big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for each and every one of you today. Alhamdulillah. And that concludes the official launching ceremony of the Asia Pacific Green Hydrogen 2026. Indeed, our highest appreciation and gratitude to our guest of honor, the Right Honorable Premier of Sarawak. Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your presence and inspiring insights and words of wisdom. Another big round of applause, please, ladies and gentlemen, for the Right Honorable Dato' Patigi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Haji Abdul Rahman Zohari bin Tun Dato' Abang Haji Openg, Premier of Sarawak. I'd also like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you, our distinguished guests, our distinguished excellencies, our delegates from across the globe.